What's going on, guys? I'm Ness, and this is Free Thoughts. What's going on, guys? This video is going to be very short. I just want to share some things with you guys that have came to me in the last week and some change now, and during multiple days, and I just think I need to share these. So number one, just get straight to the point. Was a couple of visions that have came to me, and I'm still trying to figure out what some of these mean. I hope that some of these things resonate with you. I have my own things that I believe they stand for, but I'm still trying to navigate through those. The first thing I want to share was a word that I saw, like a physical word, not here, but saw it in written, and it was the word poison. And it was, the energy with it was very tied to something that's coming, something that it's going to be poison for us. Think of in the terms of something harmful, obviously, to us. When I first received that, I automatically knew it had something to do with us as people, and something harmful to us. But I didn't know what, as far as poison. What do you mean? What does it mean, poison? Like a potion, right? Foods that we're eating that are poisoned, water that's maybe harmful. None of that came. It just said poison. So, but I knew it was attached to something that's not good for us that's coming. So let me jump into a couple days later, another vision, another dream that came to me, that was still lined up with the word poison. But this time it was the symbol of the biohazard symbol that you frequently see in any chemical. For those who are familiar with harmful chemicals, if you guys work in a factory, if you guys work in any type of industry that uses kerosene or alcohol or gasoline, any of those harmful chemicals, you know that by OSHA standards, they have to be labeled, right? And a lot of them have a biohazard symbol that literally symbolizes that this is hazardous. If you guys ever see propane tanks that are being carried in trucks or even just fuel trucks, you'll see their symbol, which is a biohazard symbol. That is the symbol that I saw, clear as day, just came to me. And it was red, like it was in red, and it was the biohazard symbol. And immediately my mind went straight to a couple of nights earlier when the word poison came to me like this. So it tied with it. So it answered some of my questions in my mind of, what is this poison? Whatever it is it's a biohazard. So I would leave it at that. If we all know what happened 3 years ago, right? With all of us being at home, most of us against our will. So I don't know if it ties into that something similar again is going to happen, or it's just that it's whatever it is, it's similar in nature as far as it's a biohazard. I guess, I don't know if I want to say chemical or just a biohazard thing, whether it's a sickness, all right, whether it's another flu-like sickness or respiratory sickness. But that's what biohazard meant. It means biohazard in that form. Okay, so whether it's a cold, whether it's a flu, it's something biohazard. Whether it's a virus, it's a virus of some sort, something along those lines. That's what resonated with me. If that resonates with you, please leave a comment or share anything that you might have received similarly recently. And like I said, this was probably 3 nights ago now, and the poison one was a couple nights prior to that. In that second one, when I saw the biohazard symbol, um, there was another vision. And I don't want to say that they were attached. It was just two different streams that came to me, and it was not, maybe it was attached, but I don't know. I really don't know if they were. Nothing is making me feel like they are, but now as I'm saying it out loud, it might tie to it, but I'm not sure. I can't tell you that they are. The second thing that I saw was like an overview from overhead. For those of you who've flown on an airplane before and gotten that coveted window seat, so you can see when you're taking off and you can see when you're landing, right? You just want to see the pretty lights or the landscape. Anyways, for those of you who've taken night flights, evening flights, whether you're landing or taking off, and you start seeing the city, right? You can see the beautiful city landscapes and all lit up, and it's just little lights, like twinkling lights, not twinkling, but little like Christmas lights, right? You know what I'm talking about. You see all the lights, and the higher you climb, you can see a vast landscape of lights. Well, think of that. Think of you on that plane and looking out that window and how it looks. That's what I could see. All right. It was a city. I don't know what city. It was just a city. And you could see buildings, and I could see all types of buildings, houses, commercial buildings, just dwellings in general. And it was evening, and they were all lit up. And as I'm looking at this, at one point, the lights just go off. And it wasn't this whole landscape that just went dark at one time. It was just like you've seen in the movies. It's like what they call a rolling blackout. If you're looking at it, it looks like a wave. So all the lights are on, and then they start shutting off, poof, 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 right? And it just does like a wave. That's how it was. I was looking at this vast city, and the lights just, like from here, shut off, and it ran. And it was very quickly, it just went toof, toof, and it just shut off. They were just completely off. So it was just showing me that the lights were going off, which is very, that really made me think of everything that I've been hearing and everything that I've been seeing for the past year, if not longer, of cyber attacks and just all these different things that are happening in the world. But I can't tie that to anything in particular. It just made me think of those things once I finished with that vision. And it just gave me a sense, not fear. These things, and I would like to let you guys know, for those who are watching this, for those who are antsy, for those who are antsy in a bad way, you know, like your nerves are on edge, don't be. Just don't be. I used to be that way, and it consumed me with what's going on, and it's not. It's a time to, I don't want to say celebrate, but to be glad that these things are happening, because it's a change that's coming. It's a change that's happening. And the reason we feel this way is because humans, we don't like change, whether it might be good. If we don't know that change that's happening or that we're doing is not going to result in something good, we don't want it. If we don't know the result in general, whether it be good or bad, we don't want it. We fight it because we are fearful of uncertainty. So that change that you're making could be something positive, but you never make it because you're so scared, you're so fearful of it not panning out in a way that you like. When in reality, it was going to be something beautiful or something great for you, but you never arrived there because you let fear stop you. Examples of that are people who want to start a business, or people who want to go back to school for something else, or people who want to quit their job to pursue something else. And even though it has a strong calling for you, you don't do it. And it's not because you don't want to, it's because you're fearful. You're fearful of the uncertainty. that's going to come with that change, because you're going to have to make a change. If you're working and you want to start your own business, and it's to the point that you have to quit that job so this can continue, so you can continue working on this more of your time, because it's taking more of your time, that fear stops most of us. So that's what I mean with all these changes that are happening and that might be coming, that are coming, not might be, they are coming. We're fearful because we don't know how it's going to play out. But these are the times that you have to be still, trying to find peace. Know that everything that happens for a reason, and that whether we have to go through a bit of uncomfortableness and uncertainty, that it's going to be okay. And not live in those lower energies, right? Those lower feelings of anxiety, of being fearful, being scared, or of being angry. Sometimes you might get angry because the change is not happening as quickly as we want, for those who are looking forward to these changes. So it's for us to, see these changes, observe them, take them in. It's gonna be normal to feel scared, to be doubtful, uncertainty, be anxious. Recognize those feelings and then let them go. They're gonna come. It's natural. And then just let them go and think it has to happen, and it's gonna be all right. At the other end of this, it's gonna be okay. But what we do, most of us, is that we receive these feelings and we stay in them. We dwell in them. Then we align ourselves with those lower frequencies, with those lower vibrations, with those lower feelings of doubt, of fearfulness, of anxiety, and we stay there. So we receive them and we stay there. And we're choosing to stay there. That is a choice that we make. We might not think so, but it is. You're choosing to dwell and think of these uncertainties, which keeps you in that state. It keeps you in that state of fear. It keeps you in that state of doubt. It's going to keep you in that state until you decide to let it go and say, it's going to be okay. And I know it sounds easy. I'm not saying it's that easy, but it's definitely not super complicated. Anyone can do this. Everyone can do this. You recognize it. You say, yeah, you're going to feel that fear. You're going to feel that anxiety. But you have to stop thinking about it and say, well, I know it's going to be okay. And most of you guys know, I know, most of us know it's going to be okay. We've all experienced something, received something that says, yeah, I don't know how, but I know it's going to be okay. I don't know what the landscape's going to look like, but I know it's going to be okay. I know a lot of us have received that. So you hold on to that and you just say, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that 2 years, 3 years, 6 months from now, we're going to be okay. We might not be an ideal situation that we want to be. Let's be clear about that, but we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And if you can align yourself with those thoughts, those feelings, that we're going to be good, we're going to be happy, because I don't care about anything else as long as I'm within peace within myself, as long as I have my family, whatever is really precious to you, not material things, what's precious to you, your family, your time with your family, your children, your wife, your spiritual growth, whatever that brings you joy, that keeps you in those higher frequencies, those higher feelings of abundance, of joy, of happiness, of love, and you will be okay. You won't be worried about this. You're going to see it, you're going to recognize this, and it'll be easier for you to just let it go and not succumb yourself to stay in those states of fear. So I say all that to say, what I saw is not to scare anyone. Those were my immediate feelings were when I saw the lights. My immediate feelings were, what's happening? It wasn't a fear. It was more of what's happening. It was more neutral. And once, it stopped and I was awake, or I was just back to where I'm at, and I said, man, this thing is something's coming. And immediately I felt sense of some fear and some anxiety. I can feel it immediately. And I could have chose to continue to be in fear. Um, and it was, fleeing. It was minutes, a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so thinking of it. And I decided, okay, well, I mean, this is going to happen regardless. So you take this as a sign, not a warning. You can say it's a warning, but it's a sign for you to prepare to whatever you need to do. And that's how I took it, which my family and I have always talked about things like this. So we always try to prepare. And the first thought that came to me was, when my family and I speak, my wife and my children, it always seems that I end up looking like a loony because we prepare things and nothing happens. And then when it falls from the wayside, meaning, I'll give you an example. I have stacks of water, right? And nothing's happening. This was like 2 years ago. And it's like, because I don't know when things happen. And it sat there for a while. So my wife said, we need to start drinking this water. So we do, and we haven't replenished it. And one of the thoughts that came to me after this, like, crap, we need to replenish all our stuff that I don't hoard, but just extra cases of water that we haven't replenished. I need to do that. I need to charge up my electric generator, which, my solar power generators, right? Which, again, funny enough, we've bought that years ago because these same things that I saw a couple of nights ago. And it's better. It's a little pricier, but it doesn't give off a smell. It doesn't give off a sound, and you can have it in your house. So I mentioned that because this was years ago, and again, nothing's happened, and so I end up looking kooky. But I don't care. My family doesn't care. They just know it's like, at some point when something happens, we're prepared. So don't take it as fear, even though you are. All right. Let me rephrase that. Don't dwell in that fear. Don't dwell in that uncertainty. Just take it as a sign. Take it, you'll feel those feelings, and then let them go. And then raise yourself into a higher feeling, which is just vibrations, just so align yourself with a state of calmness that everything's going to be okay. And you have that faith that everything's going to turn out fine. And that helps you not be fearful, and you won't be antsy. You won't suffer from anxiety a lot. You are not going to be looking at the news every day and seeing what's happening. Don't live that way. You're going to be stressed out. All right, just learn to calm down, because when it's right for you to receive that news, if you are being receptive, you're going to receive it. You're not going to not be aware. If you're watching my channel or any channel similar to this, you're obviously aware to a certain degree of things. That's why you're watching these things, right? So that's why you're watching this type of content from whoever it may be. You're obviously aware to a certain degree of certain things, whether it's crypto, whether it's spiritual, mostly spiritually led. You're obviously aware of certain things. So know that you are aware, and at certain things, they're gonna pop up. You might be scrolling through TikTok or scrolling through YouTube videos, and something's gonna just catch your eye, and you're gonna get some information that it was meant for you to receive, which is gonna make you think. If you're aware, it's gonna make you click or think on something, and then if you're doing it right, you will act on it, and then let it go, and just keep pressing. Don't sit there and dwell on it and continue. Just do what you need to do. And I know it's easier said than done, and I know that from experience, but that's what I'm still working on as well. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. It's supposed to be a quick video, but now it's 20 minutes in. I'm gonna have to edit this. So that's all I have, guys, for right now. Just want to share that with you. So you guys have a good day.